Live. It's great to be here again. So happy to be here on another Friday evening for High Performance Live. This is a show where we talk about the tools, tips, skills, and strategies to help you and I be those high performers that God has created us to be. My name is Kayode Kolade, and I'm glad to be here with you in another Friday evening. Usually between 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. West African time every Friday like this. I'm always here doing this live session. If this is your first time, let me start by saying welcome. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. If this is not your first time, welcome back. It's also great to have you here. I'm always so delighted to have you come back and be here on the show as that high performer that you are. How are you doing? How was your week? I hope your week went well. I hope you had a profitable week. I hope you had a productive week. Just want to say a very, very big well done to you. It's Friday and we're about to go into the weekend. Just wishing you all the very best, even as we go into the weekend and as we prepare for the week that is ahead. You know how we do it, right? Every time we come on High Performance Live like this, we always do our high performance review for the week, which is three things: what we are grateful for this week, the lesson that we're learning this week, and what we are looking forward to in the upcoming week. So I'll start. I'm grateful for another opportunity to be here with you again on another live session. The lesson that I'm learning this week is the importance of starting your profitable business. It's very, very important to start your profitable business, and that's what I'm going to be getting into in a couple of minutes. So you want to hang around for that. Make sure that you take your notes and take points. I assure you that this is going to be a very insightful one. What I'm looking forward to in the upcoming week is that I'm opening up my calendar for one-on-one sessions with people who want coaching, who want one-on-one coaching, who want one-on-one personal advice. I'm opening up my calendar in the next couple of weeks for just a handful of people who want that one-on-one attention, be it for your business, your career, your relationships, your finances. You want that level of accountability. You want that level of advice and guidance. And I'm opening up my calendar to, just be that person to hold your hand and let us see the various steps that we can take, to take that your goal that you are trying to achieve, to make sure that we set it up so that you can make sure that you crush those goals that you want to achieve. And so if you know you want to be one of those people, just like I said, it's just going to be, I just have limited spaces available, limited seats available. You know you want to be one of those people. Just send me a DM on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. Is the same handle like it is here on YouTube, right? I've been talking about the movie Matrix for a while. One of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time. In the very first installment of the movie, the end scene of the Matrix, if you've seen this, that's the part one of the movie, has Keanu Reeves at the end scene making a call to the Matrix. And on the call, he's talking about, I know that you can hear me. I know that you can feel me. And, he's talking about, that I know that you are scared right now. I'm not here to tell you how this is going to end. I'm here to tell you how it's going to begin right now. And I'm going to show all these people a world without you, a world without rules, a world without controls, a world without borders, a world without boundaries. And where we go from there, I leave it to you. For me, it's so powerful that the movie ends with that quote, such a very, very powerful quote. And the reason why I bring up that quote from the movie Matrix and how it applies to our discussion today about how to start your profitable business is this. One thing that is very glaring, that is very clear, is that one way to build wealth is by having your own business. If there is one way that you and I can build wealth, it's by having our own business, it's by having our own profitable business. Having your own business, that's literally what it is. And that's why I had to bring up that Matrix code, is having your own world of possibilities, is having your own world free of rules, free of controls, free of borders, free of boundaries. a world of endless possibilities and a world of endless opportunities. Now, even though we know that, oh, the opportunities are there, the possibilities are there with having your own business, the question is, why do many people know this but still fail to start their own business, fail to have their own businesses, right? We always have this idea, okay, I'm going to own my own business. One day I will own my own business. One day I will start my profitable business. But we always keep postponing it to one day, to one day, to one day, and we never get to start. And the reason why I believe that is that um, great opportunities many times do not have great opportunity in their subject line. I'll say that again. Great opportunities most times never have great opportunity in their subject line. Now, what that simply means is that most of the time, most people usually want to be associated with something that is already finished, something that is already established, something that is already working, and not something that they have to start by themselves or something that is just starting. If really the opportunities in business were just so obvious and so glaring, everybody would do it. But the reason why only a few people dare to take that step, only a few people dare to go for those opportunities, is because of the fact that many times it's not so obvious, it's not so glaring. It's all about seeing beyond the surface. That's what it is most times. The ability to look beyond the surface, to look at that seemingly ordinary thing, that seemingly ridiculous thing right now, and to be able to see the opportunity in it. I'm sure you've heard that saying that eyes that see, eyes that look are common, but eyes that truly see are few. It takes a very, very unique set of eyes to be able to look at that seemingly ordinary thing, that seemingly ugly thing, because that's what it is. Many times, great opportunities do not look attractive in the now, they do not look attractive in the moment. They do. So while we're talking about the fact that, oh, starting your own business is a beautiful opportunity, is a great opportunity, is a world of possibility for you and for me, we need to recognize that fact that many times it does not look attractive in the moment. It does not look attractive in the beginning. But are you going to be that person of vision that is able, that is willing to see the opportunity in the thing that doesn't look attractive right now? That is willing to see the great possibility, the world of possibility in the thing that does not look attractive, that does not look welcoming, that does not look beautiful right now. That's what it really is. That's what it's all about. And it's for us to remind ourselves that all those things that look finished, that look established right now, all of those things at one point didn't look attractive at the beginning. If look at Apple, for instance. Now, Apple is one of, if not, I'm not sure of the current statistics at the moment, but at one time was the world's most valued company, the most valued company in the world. But it's interesting that at a point in time, this same company that is the dream of so many people to work in, and everybody wants to be associated with, even if you don't want to work in the company, you want to be associated with the product, right? You want to have the iPhone, you want to have the computer, you want to have the watch, you want to have something associated with that company. But it's interesting that at some point, this particular opportunity, this particular world of possibility that exists right now was sometimes very unattractive to anybody. It was once just an idea in somebody's mind. And that's where I'm going. That everything that exists in our world today once started as an idea in somebody's mind. And that idea didn't look like anything that had any potential, didn't look like anything that had anything great associated with it. And that's one thing that we need to remember. We need to come back to that mindset. We need to carry back that mindset as high performers that God has created you and I to be, and to be willing to say, what are the great opportunities that lie in this seemingly ordinary thing, this seemingly ridiculous thing that I have in my hand right now? And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you that needed wake-up call that you need. I'm here to give you a call to action that right now is the time for you to start that your profitable business. That business that you have been talking about, that you have been talking about for a while, you have been telling everybody that you need to start. I'm here to tell you that you need to start it. And you're not starting it tomorrow, you are starting it today. Right now, you and I, we are going to make sure that we start that profitable business together. Right now, on this live stream that we are having together. And that's why I'm here, to give you a clear call to action. Specifically, I'm going to give you what I call my CTA system. My CTA system, to turn those your ideas, or to turn that your idea into your profitable business, because it's very important. That's how we build wealth. That's how we take our performance to a whole new level as those high performers that God has created us to be. So what is the CTA system to turn your idea into a profitable business? The CTA system to start your own profitable business, and to start it today. Let's go. I hope you have your notes ready. Number one is that you need to come up with the ideas first. You need to come up with the ideas first. Yes, and that's the very first step to it. And it's just as simple as that. And the number one rule is that you don't need one business idea. You need a lot of ideas. You need a lot of ideas. So if you have been thinking of, oh, you are looking for that very one perfect, precise, very profitable business idea, I'm here to tell you that it does not work like that. For you to find that profitable idea, you need to come up with a lot of ideas first. And the reason why it's very important for you to come with a lot of ideas first is that many times the person that is focused on just coming up with one business idea ends up getting too attached to the idea, to the point that even when it's so obvious that this idea cannot be profitable, they are not willing to let go. So that's why I'm here to say to you today that you need to come up with many ideas, not just one idea. If you are going to start your profitable business, you need to come up with many ideas. And so it's about you casting your net wide to draw in as many ideas as possible. And trust me, you can. You can. The reason why you feel like, oh, ideas are scarce and you are bereft of ideas of what to do right now is because you are focused on being perfect. You are focused on being perfect. You are focused on that very perfect idea. And the more you focus on perfection, what happens is that it slows down the mind. It prevents the mind from thinking wide, prevents the mind from thinking far, it prevents the mind from being as creative as possible. And so that's just my own charge and my own encouragement to you, that if you can't come up with 5 ideas, come up with 10. If you can't come up with 10 ideas, come up with 20. It's called the 20 idea principle. The 20 idea principle, and it simply states that if you can't come up with 10 ideas, then come up with 20. It doesn't matter how ridiculous or how stupid those ideas are, but come up with them and make sure that you are writing them down. As stupid and as ridiculous as those ideas, write them down. Don't edit them. Don't be bothered about the fact that, oh, this is so stupid, this is so ridiculous. As long as it comes into your head, write it down. Or I'm sure you have also heard of the brick test, where a slab or a cube of brick is given, and you are asked that how many uses can this particular brick be applied to? And you are told that, say, let your imagination run wild. Let your imagination run wild. Don't limit it to the fact that, oh, this is a brick. It can only be used to build the wall of a house. Let it run wild. Let it use it to serve, to explore as many opportunities as you can. If you are into fitness, let that brick be your own dumbbell that you use for building up your muscles. And so that's just what it is, that you need as many ideas as possible, and don't focus on perfection. Don't be bothered about the fact that, oh, maybe tomorrow on CNN the headline is going to be, oh, you started this very stupid idea and it failed and everybody is going to laugh at you. Trust me, nobody is going to carry such a headline. CNN is not going to carry such a headline. I don't know, whatever newspaper that is in the country where you live, they are not going to carry any headline that says that you started or you created or any stupid idea or any stupid product or service. So just be free with yourself. Be free with yourself. And 3 questions in coming up with your ideas that I believe that will guide you. Number 1 is, what are those things that you love? What are those things that you love? Those are key pointers to ideas that you can come up with. Absolutely. If I can come up with 5 ideas, I should come up with 20. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rela, for sharing that. So what are the things that you love? Those are the keys to your ideas. Don't bother about the fact that, I love this thing. Nobody is going to pay for it. Don't be bothered about that right now. The things that you love, write them down. Number 2, what are you good at? Number 2, what are you good at? No matter what it is, there are things that you are good at. Get your pen and your paper and write them down. And then finally, what skills do you have? What skills do you have? By the time you put these 3 things together, trust me, you can come up with 20 ideas. You can come up with 20 ideas, and trust me, just like we were saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have, you are not bothered about who is going to see it, who is going to like it, or who is not going to like it. The most important thing is that, first of all, you need to come up with those ideas. And that's just what it is. What do you love? What are you good at? And what are the skills that you have? Break those ideas into those 3 categories and come up with as many ideas as possible, and put them down. Just like I said, allow your mind to roam free. Be free with yourself. Nobody is going to edit it. Nobody is going to persecute you. And that's just what it is. The second step to starting your profitable business, we've said come up with the idea. The second thing now is that you need to test the idea. You need to test the idea. And that's why we started with the fact that you need to come up with as many ideas as possible, because what happens is that the person that has only one idea, if they are sincere with themselves, many times they don't even want to test that idea, because they are thinking of the fact that if I test this idea and this idea doesn't work, it will pain me after everything that I have invested into it. I'm sure you've heard that principle called sunk cost fallacy principle, Abi, the sunk cost fallacy principle, which in summary just simply means that many times when people discover that they have invested so much into something and they discover that they need to make a U-turn, it becomes very difficult. It becomes hard to let go. And that's why we started with that. You need to come up with as many ideas as possible. At least come up with 20 ideas, so that by the time it comes to testing, you are not so emotionally attached to any idea. At the end of the day, we are looking for the one that is going to be your own profitable idea. We are looking for the one that is going to be your own profitable idea. And that's just what it is. That I wish I knew this thing from the beginning. My mentor tells me every time that, see, there is nothing that he puts out there that he doesn't test first. There is nothing that he doesn't put out there that he doesn't test first. Check out all the outliers that you know, all the high-performing individuals, all the high-performing companies. There is nothing that they put out there that is not tested first. They don't putting out there is not the testing, is not the experiment. They have tested it before they put it out there. And so that's why it's so important that you need to test your ideas. That's the second stage to finding your profitable idea. And there are 3 ways that you can test your idea. The first way is what I call the pay test. The pay test. And what that simply means is that you need to ask yourself 2 questions. This idea, are people willing to pay for it, this idea? And do people have the ability? The people I want to serve, are they willing to pay for this idea? And do they have the ability or capacity to pay for this idea? So a very good example is a personal stylist. Who do you want to serve? Do you want to serve retirees? Yes, if you want to serve retirees, that's great. But in testing that idea is the first question. Can these people pay for your service? Absolutely, they can pay for your service. But the second thing is that, will they be willing to pay for that service? Most likely they would not be willing, because their looks at that particular time is not so much of a high priority to them. Then you take that same service and take it to college students and ask that same question. Are these people willing to pay for this service? Absolutely no. Do they have the capacity to pay for the service? You too, you know that the answer is no. What is on the mind of these people is, just watching enough TikTok reels, watching enough videos on YouTube, and learning how to do this thing by themselves, and then doing it. And they are not going to be willing to pay for the money that they are going to use for as feeding allowance to now pay you to style them personally. They are not going to do it. But then now you take this same idea to maybe a mid-level or a senior level executive. Are they willing to pay for this? Yes, they are. Do they have the capacity and ability to pay for it? Yes, they are. Now you know that you have found your own profitable idea of being a personal stylist to this particular group of people. And so that's why it's so important to test your idea. Many times, if most of us are sincere, we are not willing, the things that we sell, the ideas that we have that we want to sell to people, even we ourselves are not willing to pay for it. Let's be sincere. If the tables were turned, we ourselves are not willing to pay for those same things, and then we get upset that, oh, nobody is supporting my idea, nobody likes my idea. But the thing is that if you put yourself in that person's shoes, will you be willing to pay for it? And so it's coming to that place to say to yourself that, what are those urgent problems that you are dealing with right now? What are those urgent problems that you are dealing with right now that you are looking for a solution to? Trust me, everybody is looking for that same solution. And if you find the solution, they will pay you to learn how you solve that particular problem. And so that's what it is. That is coming back to that place where we can't afford to be ingrown. And that's why we said you need to come up with as many ideas as possible, because it's remembering that it's not about what you want to sell, it's about what the customer wants to buy. It's not about what you want to sell. Yes, you love that idea, but it's not about what you want to sell. It's about what the customer wants to buy. What is that urgent problem that they are dealing with that they need a solution to? And so that's what it is. The second way that you can test your idea is by something that I call the demand matrix. What is the demand for that particular idea? This particular idea that you want to turn to a product or service, what's the demand for it? What's the demand for it compared to the price that can be placed on that particular product or service? And that's why it's very important that in anything that we are doing, we need to always start with the end in mind. We need to always start with the end in mind. What is your own vision for your own rich life, for the level of wealth that you are trying to build? By the time you have that vision that you are trying to attain to, then you know the road that will take you there. You know the road that will take you there. You know the kind of lifestyle that you have envisioned for yourself. When you know the kind of lifestyle that you have envisioned for yourself, then you know the kind of things that you want to sell. Are you going to be the person that sells commodity goods, or are you the person that wants to sell luxury goods? And so that's just what it is, that at the end of the day, what is the relative demand for that particular product, for that particular idea that you have, that you want to turn to a product or service? There are some of those products or services that have high demand, that have maybe low demand, but the price on the product or service is usually very, very high. And those kind of services are what we call high-end services. The demand might not be so much for that service, but the price that is put on it is usually very high. Hi, Faizan, welcome. Thank you for joining. And so then there are those products or services. A very good example of those kind of services is perhaps copywriting services, is perhaps unique coding services for certain businesses. Not everybody might be demanding that particular product or service, but trust me, the person that demands for it, the price is usually very high. Then you have those kind of services that the demand is very high, and the price is also very high. A very good example is one-on-one coaching. The demand on that service is very high, and then the price on it is usually also very, very high. And then you have services that the demand is very, very low, and then the price is very low. Those kind of services are what we call labor of love services. A very good example is designing an online course where you teach people how to iron clothes. You can be sure that at the end of the day, you will just have to offer that online course free to people, because nobody is going to pay for it. And that's just what it is, that you discover that that's just a labor of love service. And then you have the kind of services where the demand is very, very high, but the price is not so high. A very, very good example is teaching people how to achieve productivity and how to manage their time. The truth about it is that everybody knows that they need to be more productive. They need to know how to manage their time. But how many people are really, really willing to pay for it? It's a for them is a nice to have. It's something that is nice to do. It will be great if I can be more productive and more, more disciplined with my time, but it's not urgent. It's not a problem that is really pressing them or that is pinching them. And so you need to be able to identify all these things and be able to say to yourself that there is no need beefing anybody or beefing the world for not supporting you or for not supporting your idea, but it's about finding those things that people find urgent, the urgent problems that they want to get solved, and which leads me to the third way that you that you can test your idea, and that's by the love test. And that's why the love test. You won't hear this. You won't hear this in many places, but trust me, the ultimate test for your idea is love. And it's coming back to that place where you need to fall in love with your clients, you need to fall in love with your students, you need to fall in love with those people you serve. If you love them, you will want to see their lives transformed. And if you want to see their lives transformed, then you will want to come up with real solutions that will help them to transform their lives and not placebos that will just end up wasting their time. And so that's why it's so important that is love your motivation, is love your driving force, is love your backbone in that thing that you do. Because trust me, if you don't love people, you will get tired because you will be talking to the people and the people will just be using you to play ping pong and you'll just be like, look, dudes, go to hell because of how frustrated that you feel. And so at the end of the day is that there has to be that motivating force that is driving you. There has to be that motivating force that is pushing you, that it makes you really, really committed to doing this thing because you can see the transformation that you to bring into the lives of people. So that's it. The number three thing to turning your ideas to starting your profitable business. We've said you need to come up with the ideas. We've said test your ideas for the one that is most profitable. And then the final thing is that you need to act on those ideas. It seems straightforward, it seems so simple, but trust me, many people do not do this. I know because I've been there. I know it because I've been there. There is a way where you can be in that place where you are just going through the motions, but you are not making any real progress. You are saying, oh, you have this very grand idea of the things that you want to accomplish in the world, but you are not taking any real action. You are just spinning your wheels. And so that's the thing, that at the end of the day, you come up with the idea, you have tested the idea. The next thing is put the idea out there. Put the idea out there. Stop, don't be stuck in that place where you are wondering, oh, what is that fancy title I'm going to call myself? Oh, what is that special kind of coach I'm going to brand myself? Oh, how do I brand myself? Oh, what's that unique name I'm going to give to my social media handle? Or what's that unique logo design? Oh, look, all those things are great and fantastic. But at the end of the day, what you really, really need are paying customers. What you really need are paying clients, are people that take out their money and put it in your hand. And the only way that can happen is that you need to put the idea out there and you need to start talking to people. You need to start talking to people. All this one that you are spending 1 month, spending 2 months, spending 3 months just to design a website, and you are saying until that website is designed, before you put the out there, time is going. Time is going. Time is going. Stop waiting until you have designed the website so perfectly and all that. What you need is a simple way to deliver to deliver the product and service, and a simple way to receive payment. That's all you need at the beginning. A way to deliver the service, the idea, the product, and a way to collect the people's money, the people that want to pay. That's all. Every other thing is side dressing. Trust me, I'm telling you, I wish I had somebody that sat me down and told me this 13 years ago. I wish I had somebody that sat me down and told me this several years ago. Every other thing is side dressing. Every other thing is spinning your wheels. Every other thing is just plain old self-deception. You need the money to start coming in. And what it simply means, we say we have this great idea, but we go weeks. We don't talk to even one person about that idea. We go weeks. We don't even talk to one person about product or service. Then what business are we saying that we are actually in? If in 1 week you don't even talk to one person about that product or service, then what exactly are we doing? What exactly are we doing? And that's why my own personal advice to you is that this time you need to get an accountability partner, somebody that holds you accountable, who every end of the week, like every Friday like this, both of you do a weekly check-in where you submit a report to the person and you tell the person what exactly you did within the week, how many people you spoke to within the week, what was their response. What did you try that didn't work? What are you going to do in the upcoming week? What are you going to change? What are you going to adjust in the upcoming week? That's how we make progress. That's how we make progress. We can't afford to just leave these things to chance. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How do you know something is important to you? By the number of times that thing shows up in your checkbook and in your calendar. By the number of times those things shows up in your checkbook and your calendar, I know that you tell me, oh, you need this amount of money, you need all these things to start your own profitable business, you need an iPhone, you need a laptop. I'm not denying the fact that you need all those things. But if the bar you have set for yourself is so high for you to start, then that's just exactly what you have done. You have set the bar too high. You have set the bar too high. You can't afford to put the cart in front of the horse. You can't afford to sprint before you have learned even how to walk. So it's a process. You have to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. And also what it simply means is that you need to look at that idea again and then break it down. Step it down, simplify it, and then see how you can start and how you can start now. And how you can start now, how you can start with what you have right now. And because believe me, you have what it takes to start right now. As long as you are watching me right now, you have what it takes to start that profitable business right now, to start talking to people. You don't need to have the website yet. You don't even need to have your complimentary card yet. You don't need to have those fancy logos yet. What you need is a paying client. There is nothing. See, you can't quantify the amount of validation that thing gives you, that you share that thing with somebody and they are willing to bring out their money and pay you for that thing. It will change the entire dynamic. It will change the entire dynamic. And that's what you really need. Get out there, start talking to people, devote time. Don't be random. It's not about the length of the time that you devote to the business. It's about your being consistent. It's about being consistent. If it's 40 minutes to 1 hour that you can do every day, be consistent at it. Be consistent at it. Be consistent at it. Be diligent, be consistent, and be focused at it. And trust me, you will see the level of progress that you have made. And so that's just what it is. That right now it's coming back to that place where my own charge and my own encouragement to you is that whether you realize it or not, you've been in business. You've been in business. You might say, oh, I'm just starting out, or I'm just trying to get my feet wet. What are you talking about? As long as you are an adult, you have been in business all your life, whether you realize it or not. That's just the truth. Because just like how, I started with the Matrix scene in the final scene in the Matrix movie, where Neo was talking to the Matrix and I was telling the Matrix that, see, I'm going to show these people a world that exists without you, a world of possibilities. What he simply did is that he has discovered something, and then now he has made it his business to show that thing to other people. And so that's just what it is, that you have made certain discoveries in your life. You've learned certain things in your life. You've acquired certain knowledge. You've acquired certain information. You've acquired certain skills, certain experiences throughout your life's journey. Somehow, you've even been sharing those things with people. You have been teaching those things with people. Now, all I'm saying to you is that this is the time for you to now be more deliberate in the way that you approach it. That's just all it is, because the possibilities are there, the opportunities are there, but most times we don't see it because great opportunities don't have great opportunity in the subject line. It takes a person of vision, and that is you that I'm talking to see the opportunity that exists right now in that seemingly ordinary and ridiculous thing that you have in your hand. And so that's just what it is that you are in business right now. You need to always remember, like Jesus says, that the harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers are few. So you see, it's not the harvest is plenteous. The clients, the people that need you, people that need their problem solved, the harvest is much. But what happens is that the laborers are few because not many people are willing to press through to maximize those opportunities that are at their hand. And so what I'm just telling you is that this is your own wake-up call. This is a system that you can now put into use to be part of the people that takes advantage of the harvest that is there, that takes advantage to solve a problem for somebody and to get paid for solving that problem. That's how you start your profitable business idea, and then before you know it, you grow from there and take it to a whole new level. So that's it. I can keep going on and on, but I promise I'll just make this as concise as possible, just to give you that framework that you can use to get started right now. Remember, if you can't come up with 5 ideas, you can't come up with 10 ideas, come up with 20. Come up with 20. It's very possible. What are those things that you love? What are the things that you are good at? What are the skills that you have? Number 2, test your idea. You've come up with those 20 ideas. Now test them. Be like the fisherman. After he catches the fish, he takes out the good from the bad and separates them. Test your idea to find your own profitable idea. Give it the demand matrix test, give it the pay test, give it the love test until you find your own profitable idea. And once you have identified that idea that people are willing to pay for, the idea that they have the ability to pay for, that idea that is probably in high demand and that you can put a high price on, and you are dedicated and committed to see the transformation happen in the lives of people, don't wait for anything else, my brother. Don't wait for anything else, my sister. Put that idea out there. Act on it. Take action. Stop spinning your wheels. Stop saying, oh, you want to have that great website done. Stop people saying you want to have the company registered. It's great. It's important to have systems and to put structures in place, but put it out there first. What you need are paying clients. What you need are paying customers. Start talking to people. Talk to people every week. Get somebody to hold you accountable. Hold you accountable for the number of people you talk to every week about that idea, that product or service. That's how you make progress on your journey towards starting and building and growing your own profitable business. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate the time. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. Look out for all the great and powerful stuff that are coming out over the weekend. You have any questions, feel free. You can drop the questions here. I will definitely see them. I read all your comments, trust me, and I always make sure that I respond, right? You trust me, there is no comment you drop that I will not respond to. So you have any questions, drop them here. I'll make sure I respond to them. Or you can always DM me on Instagram at Kayode Kolade. Send me your questions there and I will answer them. Look out for all the great stuff coming out this weekend, long form video, the newsletter. They will be a great blessing to you. Make sure you share them with somebody. They would be grateful to you that they did. I know I will be grateful to you for doing that. I appreciate you so much. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Talk to you very soon. Your greatness is very sure.